Hi, I'm Valerie Gordon from Valerie Confections here at the Alisal Guest Ranch and Resort, and I am doing a ton of baking today on the Big Green Egg. This is my favorite device to use. It's so easy, and you can bake such an amazing array of goods. Today what I'm doing is my favorite Bistro chocolate cake. This is the exact kind of really dense, delicious, decadent cake you would have at a French bistro. It's so chocolatey, so moist, and in the Big Green Egg, you get the most significant char on the edge of that cake that is the best texture ever. So let's get started. So we're starting this process with the Mini Max, and I have so much affection for this adorable little grill. He's so cute, and I like to use him for an open grill situation. So here I'm going with an open flame because I just need to heat these first three ingredients for the cake. And what I'm starting with is 61% bittersweet chocolate, and this is incredibly good quality bittersweet chocolate. It's Valrhona, it's 61%, and with that you get a really great, deep, true chocolate flavor. Go quality with all ingredients that you're using, it's so important. So I'm just pouring that in the pot, a lot of butter, and some really strong brewed coffee. And what strong brewed coffee does is A, it keeps the cake super moist, and B, it enhances that chocolate flavor even more. And so we're just gonna melt these three things together on the Mini Max on the open grill. And we're just gonna let that go until it's completely melted. And then we do need to let that cool a little bit before we move on with the recipe. Now it's time to put the rest of the batter together. So here I'm just taking my golden brown sugar and white sugar, mixing these together. Do use the golden brown sugar because you get a nice caramelized flavor that way instead of a molasses flavor. And then I mix my leavener, kosher salt, in with all-purpose flour. If you are gluten-free, you can trade out the all-purpose flour for buckwheat flour or even half buckwheat flour, half almond flour, and you get a really nice texture with this. Then I'm going to add the dry ingredients to my sugars and sift those together. And this whole thing really just takes about a minute. It's amazing. So now I'm going to blend my dairy together. I've got two different types of dairy here. We've got sour cream, and what sour cream does is it makes it really, really rich. That's what gives the cake this incredible level of moisture, because I always say there's nothing sadder than dry cake. And to that we also add some heavy cream. And I'm just gonna blend my dairy with the eggs, and then I'm adding my cooled chocolate and butter. We're just gonna fold these two together. We are pouring this into the dry ingredients, and then we're gonna use the whisk to just fully blend it all together. And it takes on this really gorgeous fudge-like texture and look to it. It's so beautiful. Okay, so now it's time to prepare a skillet for baking on the Big Green Egg. And what is the most important step here is doing the most ridiculous, generous amount of butter you could possibly imagine inside the skillet. And just do it, because you really need this amount of fat in order to get a really clean extraction of your dessert and those wonderful crispy edges that you get when you're grilling the dessert on the Big Green Egg. So we've got our fully buttered skillet. Now all I have to do is put the batter in the skillet and bake the cake. Oh my God, this batter is so thick and luscious. So we just want to smooth this batter out until it's nice and even, and that'll give us a really lovely uniform height to the cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake this in my extra large Big Green Egg. I have the convector appliance in here, and what that does is that diffuses the heat. So that makes it work exactly the way your oven inside your kitchen works. That's why I always call this my outdoor kitchen. So here, I'm just placing this in the center of the Big Green Egg. I shut the lid, I'm at 350 degrees. About 40 minutes later, I have a restaurant quality dessert. This is baked beautifully. We've got nice crispy edges here. Do you see this butter situation that happens on the edge of the cake? It's so glorious. We get this gentle crackling at the top, and this is exactly what you want to see in the cake. So just let this cool to room temperature, invert it before you serve it with some softly whipped cream. It's a delicious restaurant quality dessert. It was so easy to make in the Big Green Egg.